The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco is one of the few books that really tells the truth about what it takes to become wealthy. And despite having a somewhat cheesy book title, the content within the book is anything but cheesy. It's a real, no BS book that details what it takes to build a multi-million-dollar company, written by an author who has actually built and sold 2 multi-million-dollar companies. So without further delay, here are the key takeaway ideas and lessons from The Millionaire Fastlane. Key takeaway number 1 is to change your thought process towards how you view amassing wealth. In the book, MJ explains the difference between what he calls the slow lane approach to building wealth and the fast lane approach to building wealth. With the slow lane approach, you're using conventional investment ideas to amass wealth over a very long period of time, specifically through the use of vehicles such as the stock market. For example, consistently investing a percentage of your paycheck into the stock market each month, maxing out your 401k, or using other middle-class-based strategies. But in the book, MJ explains that the problem with this approach is that it takes many decades for the powers of compound interest to really materialize, which is why MJ dubs the strategy the slow lane. MJ also explains how the slow lane has other flaws that many people overlook, namely not having any control over the future value of your investments. For instance, once you invest in a stock or a mutual fund, there's really nothing you can do to increase the value of your investment. Since you relinquish control over your money, you also accept other types of risk, such as market corrections, interest rates, world events, the job market, inflation, and everything else that can potentially affect the value of your investments. So MJ explains how using the market as your main wealth acceleration vehicle is not a perfect strategy, and should definitely not be your only strategy for building wealth. Now, on the contrary, the fast lane approach to amassing wealth is through the building of your own business. In other words, creating your own company that you have full control over. And we'll get into more of what that specifically means in just a little bit. But that brings us to key takeaway number 2, which is to understand the difference between get rich quick and get rich easy. To explain the difference, get rich easy is a lie, because great wealth is never created easily. Think about it. If becoming wealthy was easy, then it would only make sense that everyone on the planet would be wealthy. If getting rich was easy, everyone would be driving exotic cars and everyone would live in a mansion. So obviously, wealth creation is never easy, nor is it supposed to be easy. However, on the other hand, get rich quick, which is often a frowned upon phrase, is actually very real. In fact, get rich quick happens every day. Think about it. There are thousands of stories of companies that are quickly built and sold within only a couple years of their original founding. For example, the CEO of Snapchat, Evan Spiegel, became the youngest billionaire in the world at just 23 years old when he took his company public. More interesting is the fact that his company did not exist 6 years prior. So, to get on the fast lane to wealth, you have to dismiss the false notion that get rich quick is impossible, because history is filled with thousands of examples that will easily disprove this. The third key takeaway from the book is to understand what MJ calls the commandments of NEXT, pronounced as next. In the book, MJ explains that NEXT is an acronym that you can use as part of your decision-making framework for building a fast lane business. It stands for need, entry, control, scale, and time. To describe each word in the acronym very briefly, need simply means building a company around a product or service that people need. Entry means building a company with durable competitive advantages. Warren Buffett calls this the competitive moat, and it's essentially the barriers around your company that will help protect against new competitors. For example, part of Coca-Cola's competitive moat is that they not only have a great brand, but also multi-million-dollar bottling facilities that enable them to produce millions of cans of soda every day. It would be very difficult for a regular person to launch a business and compete against a company as large as Coca-Cola. Control means having 100% command over every decision in your company. For example, if your business is selling things on Amazon, you violate MJ's commandment of control, because your business relies completely on another company's platform, in this case, Amazon's selling platform. Scale means having the ability to grow your company with little to no human intervention. In other words, businesses that can scale on a worldwide basis without the need for human contact. MailTag and other software-based companies are perfect examples of scalable businesses. For instance, to use our free email tracking service, you do not need to call a salesperson, wait 5 minutes on hold, just to get access to a browser extension. You would just add the extension to your browser. An example of a non-scalable business would be a deli stand, and that's because a deli scale is limited geographically by how many people in a specific area can access the stand. It's also limited by human working capabilities. For instance, how many sandwiches can a person really make in an hour? Probably not a lot. The last word in the next acronym is time. Time simply means that the business cannot be dependent upon your time. In our deli stand example, the business is totally dependent upon the deli owner showing up and making sandwiches. It's also a flawed business model because the business owner is trading time for money, which is an irrational trade-off because you can always get more money, but you can never get more time. And that concludes this video on the Millionaire Fastlane. If you're looking to build your own Fastlane business, you're going to need to make sales, because sales is the foundational building block of every company. So, if you're just starting out or you're looking for free software to help you increase your sales, be sure to check out MailTag.io. The link is also in the video description below. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.